So now we're going to talk about piecewise functions. So piecewise functions are when we have different domains for different ranges for different domains. It's not always the same process, okay? So they're a lot of fun. But here's an example, and what they want us to do is they want us to write a piecewise function. So it says a museum charges $5 per person for a guided tour with a group of 1 to 9 people, or a fixed $50 fee for a group of 10 or more people. Write a function relating the number of people n to the cost c. Now notice that they give us the variables n and c, so we won't do it in terms of x and y. So we're going to say it's a cost function. So the cost is based on the number of people, so c of n is equal to, and then we're going to have two situations. We have one situation where you have between 1 and 10 people, right? So 0 is less than n is less than 10, right? 10 is where we switch to the other condition. Now, the fact that you can't have half a person, they kind of overlook that in this example. So they're just saying, okay, it's a number between 0 and less than 10. So more than 0, less than 10, but we're talking integers here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Anyway, to find that cost, it's $5 for every person. So it's going to be 5 times the number of people we have. Okay? But once it gets to 10, once n is greater than or equal to 10, that is just a straight $50 every time. Okay? So if you're figuring to go to the museum and you have a group of people, you're going to have to think about how many people you have. If you have, 6 people, it's going to be $5 for each person. It's going to be $30. But if you have 12 people, it's going to be just a flat fee of $50. Okay? So this right here, this represents the piecewise function. Now the way they usually write it is they'll put a comma here, and they'll put if, and then that specifies the domain that it's for. And they'll put a comma here, if, sometimes they don't put the comma, and then it specifies the domain for that situation. So you see how it's in two pieces. There's a piece where you have a group of people between 0 and 10, and then there's a different condition, a different output if you have more than, greater than, or equal to 10. Okay? You can make a graph of this. You're not going to have a negative number of people going to the museum, and it's not going to be a negative price. Now, if you don't have anybody going, it's going to be $0, right? And then up to 10, at 10, it's going to be $50, right? Now, it's a straight shot here. If you had 10 people and you were charged $5 a ticket, it'd be $50. And if you had, according to our situation here, 10 people, it is $50, right? So there's no discount for having 10 people, I guess. They could have done that. But that's going to be linear, that portion here. So that represents the top piece. 0 to 10 people, that's what that graph looks like. But then after that, it's just a straight shot. You can have 100 people, it's just going to be $50. I don't know, there's probably a limit at the museum. But anyway, that's how the graph looks. And then the piecewise function, it's described in pieces. The parenthesis here tells you that there's two different conditions. Now you can have more than 2 conditions. You can have 3 or 4 or whatever they want to give you. Okay? So that's a little bit of information on a piecewise function. It's for different domains, have different conditions associated with it. So different outputs, different ways of calculating the outputs. Okay.